Welcome to Mastering Property Ownership and Land Use. This video is packed with questions that will test your understanding of ownership types, government powers, easements, legal descriptions, and more. And don't miss what's happening in the lower corner. It's a free pass to Birdsy, your personal AI study partner. Now let's jump in and get you one step closer to passing your exam.
Let's start with a look at types of property ownership. Fee simple, life estate, and leasehold interests. What type of property ownership represents the most complete form of ownership recognized by law? Is it A, fee simple, B, life estate, C, leasehold interest, or D, joint tenancy? The answer is A, fee simple. Fee simple ownership is the most complete form of ownership, providing the owner with the greatest bundle of rights and control over the property. Which type of property ownership grants the owner the right to possess, use, and dispose of the property indefinitely? Is it A, life estate, B, fee simple, C, leasehold interest, or D, tenancy in common? The answer is B, fee simple. Fee simple ownership allows the owner the right to possess, use, and dispose of the property indefinitely, providing the most comprehensive bundle of rights.
Have you noticed the code in the bottom corner? Next time you're stumped, take that code to birdsy.ai for immediate help and a free study session with Birdsy, your personal AI study partner. Plus, you'll get access to hundreds of additional questions, helping you move closer to passing your exam with confidence. The next time you're feeling unsure or stuck, give it a try.
What is a key characteristic of joint tenancy? Is it A, each tenant has a separate title, B, equal shares are not required, C, right of survivorship, or D, requires unity of possession only? The answer is C, right of survivorship. Joint tenancy includes the right of survivorship, meaning that if one tenant dies, their interest is automatically transferred to the surviving tenants. This characteristic distinguishes joint tenancy from other forms of property ownership. In tenancy in common, how are ownership interests distributed among tenants? Is it A, equally among all tenants, B, ownership shares can vary, C, ownership is always in fixed percentages, or D, ownership shares cannot be inherited? The answer is B, ownership shares can vary. Unlike joint tenancy, tenants in common can have unequal ownership interests. Each tenant can own a specific percentage of the property, and their shares can be inherited or transferred independently. Which form of property ownership is exclusive to married couples? Is it A, joint tenancy, B, tenancy in common, C, community property ownership, or D, tenancy by the entirety? The answer is D, tenancy by the entirety. Tenancy by the entirety is a form of property ownership that is exclusive to married couples. It provides rights of survivorship and protection from individual creditors of one spouse. What happens to a tenant's interest in tenancy in common upon their death? Is it A, transferred to heirs or beneficiaries, B, automatically transferred to surviving tenants, C, forfeited to the government, or D, divided equally among remaining tenants? The answer is A, transferred to heirs or beneficiaries. In tenancy in common, when a tenant dies, their ownership interest is passed on to their heirs or designated beneficiaries. Unlike joint tenancy, there is no automatic transfer to the surviving tenants.
If you're finding this helpful, please take a minute to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more practice exams, useful tips, and complimentary study sessions with Birdsy.
Common interest properties, condominiums, cooperatives, planned unit development, timeshares. What is a key characteristic of a cooperative ownership? Is it A, residents own individual units, B, Residents own shares in a corporation. C. Residents have fee simple ownership. Or D. Residents have exclusive ownership of common areas. The answer is B. Residents own shares in a corporation. In a cooperative ownership, residents own shares in a corporation that owns the entire property. They do not own individual units, but rather shares in the corporation. What distinguishes a planned unit development from traditional subdivisions? Is it A. Planned unit development have smaller lot sizes? B. Planned unit development have fewer zoning regulations? C. Planned unit development offer a mix of land uses? Or D. Planned unit development have a higher density of housing units? The answer is C. Planned unit development offer a mix of land uses. Unlike traditional subdivisions, planned unit development offer a mix of land uses within the development, combining residential, commercial, and recreational spaces to create a more diverse and integrated community. Which statement best describes a timeshare ownership? Is it A. Multiple individuals share the right to use a property for a specified period each year? B. Each individual owns a specific portion of the property? C. Timeshare owners have exclusive ownership of the property? Or D. Timeshare owners have voting rights in property management? The answer is A. Multiple individuals share the right to use a property for a specified period each year. In a timeshare ownership, multiple individuals have the right to use a property for a specified period each year, typically in vacation destinations, without full ownership. Government rights in land. Eminent domain, condemnation, and escheat. What is the process through which the government takes private property for public use called? Is it A. Eminent domain, B. Escheat, C. Condemnation, or D. Adverse possession? The answer is A. Eminent domain. Eminent domain is the government's power to take private property for public use, provided just compensation is paid to the property owner. This process is also known as condemnation. What is the term for the legal process through which the state takes ownership of property when an individual dies without heirs? Is it A. Eminent domain, B. Escheat, C. Condemnation, or D. Adverse possession? The answer is B. Escheat. Escheat is the legal process through which the state takes ownership of property when an individual dies without heirs. This ensures that the property does not remain ownerless. In eminent domain cases, what must the government provide to the property owner when taking their property? Is it A. Legal representation, B. Tax exemption, C. Just compensation, or D. Property exchange? The answer is C. Just compensation. When exercising eminent domain, the government must provide just compensation to the property owner. This ensures that the owner is fairly compensated for the loss of their property. What does escheat ensure when an individual dies without heirs? Is it A. Property redistribution, B. State ownership, C. Heir designation, or D. Ownerless property prevention? The answer is D. Ownerless property prevention. Escheat ensures that property does not remain ownerless when an individual dies without heirs. The state steps in to take ownership and prevent the property from being in a state of limbo. What is the term for the government's power to acquire ownership of property through continuous use, often in cases of abandoned land? Is it A. Adverse possession, B. Eminent domain, C. Escheat, or D. Condemnation? The answer is A. Adverse possession. Adverse possession is the legal concept where the government or an individual can acquire ownership of property through continuous use. This typically applies to cases of abandoned land or long-term neglect by the owner. Police power and zoning authority. What is the primary purpose of zoning regulations? Is it A, to generate revenue for the local government? B, to promote public health and safety? C, to restrict property ownership rights? Or D, to encourage commercial development? The answer is B, to promote public health and safety. Zoning regulations aim to promote public health, safety, and general welfare by regulating land use and development. They help organize communities and prevent incompatible land uses. What power allows local governments to create and enforce zoning regulations? Is it A, police power, B, eminent domain, C, taxation authority, or D, Escheat power? The answer is A, police power. Police power grants local governments the authority to create and enforce zoning regulations. This power enables them to regulate land use to protect public health, safety, and welfare. How do zoning regulations typically classify land use? Is it A, by property owner's income level, B, by property size and shape, C, by land use categories, or D, by historical significance? The answer is C, by land use categories. Zoning regulations commonly classify land use into categories such as residential, commercial, industrial, and mixed-use zones. This classification helps maintain the harmony and organization of different land uses. Which of the following is a key goal of zoning regulations? Is it A, promoting property speculation, B, encouraging urban sprawl, C, maximizing individual property rights, or D, preventing incompatible land uses? The answer is D, preventing incompatible land uses. One of the key goals of zoning regulations is to prevent incompatible land uses, such as locating industrial facilities near residential areas. This helps maintain harmony, safety, and property values within communities.
Stuck on a question? Just think of the Birdsy link in the description as your friendly neighborhood superhero, swooping in to save the day with answers. Feel free to explore it now and return to continue. Simply hit pause, and we'll be waiting when you get back.
Taxation and special assessments. What is a special assessment? Is it A, a tax on all properties in a city, B, a levy on property owners for specific improvements, C, a fee for property maintenance services, or D, a tax exemption for certain properties? The answer is B, a levy on property owners for specific improvements. A special assessment is a tax or levy imposed on property owners to fund specific public projects that benefit the assessed properties, such as street lighting or sewer improvements. How are property taxes typically calculated? Is it A, by the property's square footage, B, by the property's age and condition, C, based on the assessed value and local tax rate, or D, by the property owner's income? The answer is C, based on the assessed value and local tax rate. Property taxes are usually calculated based on the assessed value of the property and the local tax rate. The assessed value is determined by the local assessor's office. What is the primary purpose of property taxation by the government? Is it A, to fund public services and infrastructure, B, to discourage property ownership, C, to redistribute wealth among property owners, or D, to finance private development projects? The answer is A, to fund public services and infrastructure. The main purpose of property taxation is to generate revenue for local governments to fund public services and infrastructure, such as schools, roads, and emergency services. In what way do special assessments differ from property taxes? Is it A, special assessments are higher than property taxes, B, special assessments fund general government services, C, property taxes are only levied on residential properties, or D, special assessments are earmarked for specific projects? The answer is D, Special assessments are earmarked for specific projects. Special assessments differ from property taxes as they are specifically earmarked for particular public projects that benefit the assessed properties, whereas property taxes fund general government services and infrastructure. Private land use controls. Deed restrictions and covenants. What is the purpose of deed restrictions in a residential community? Is it A, to maintain property values and preserve the neighborhood character? B, to limit the number of properties in a community? C, to encourage commercial development in the area? Or D, to promote individual property rights without any limitations? The answer is A, to maintain property values and preserve the neighborhood character. Deed restrictions are used to maintain property values, preserve the character of a neighborhood, and ensure conformity among property owners. What legal document typically contains detailed restrictions on property use in a planned community? Is it A, deed of trust, B, covenants, conditions, and restrictions, CC&Rs, C, title deed, or D, lease agreement? The answer is B, covenants, conditions, and restricts, CC&Rs. Covenants, conditions, and restrictions, CC&Rs, are legal documents that outline detailed restrictions on property use within a planned community. How can property owners enforce deed restrictions against violators? Is it A, by physically removing the violator from the property, B, by imposing a fine directly on the violator, C, by filing a lawsuit seeking an injunction or monetary damages, or D, by verbally warning the violator to comply with the restrictions? The answer is C, by filing a lawsuit seeking an injunction or monetary damages. Property owners can enforce deed restrictions by filing a lawsuit seeking an injunction to stop the violation, or by seeking monetary damages for noncompliance. What happens to deed restrictions when a property is sold to a new owner? Is it A, they are automatically lifted upon sale of the property, B, they become void and unenforceable, C, they must be renewed by the new owner, or D, they run with the land and are transferred to the new owner? The answer is D, they run with the land and are transferred to the new owner. Deed restrictions typically run with the land, meaning they are transferred to the new owner upon the sale of the property and remain enforceable. HOA Rules and Enforcement. What is the primary purpose of HOA rules and regulations? Is it A, to restrict personal freedoms, B, to generate revenue for the HOA, C, to maintain property values and community standards, or D, to promote individualism and diversity? The answer is C, to maintain property values and community standards. HOA rules are primarily designed to maintain property values, ensure community aesthetics, and regulate behavior within the neighborhood. These rules help create a cohesive and harmonious living environment. What authority typically enforces HOA rules and regulations? Is it A, local government agencies, B, HOA board or management company, C, neighborhood watch groups, or D, state judicial system? The answer is B, HOA board or management company. HOA rules are enforced by the HOA board or management company hired by the association. They have the authority to issue warnings, fines, and take legal action against violators. What can homeowners do if they disagree with an HOA rule or enforcement action? Is it A, ignore the rule and continue as usual, B, file a complaint with the local government, C, confront the neighbors directly, or D, follow the association's dispute resolution process and seek legal advice if needed? The answer is D, follow the association's dispute resolution process and seek legal advice if needed. Homeowners can typically challenge HOA rules or enforcement actions by following the association's dispute resolution process, attending board meetings, and seeking legal advice if necessary. They have rights to appeal and address grievances.
Notice the code in the corner? When you're stumped by a question, enter it at birdsy.ai for immediate help. Enjoy complimentary study sessions and access to hundreds of additional questions to help you pass your exam with confidence.
Easements and encumbrances. Types of easements: appurtenant, engross, prescription, necessity. What is an easement engross? Is it A, a legal right benefiting an individual or entity? B, a right attached to a specific parcel of land? C, an easement acquired through adverse possession? Or D, an easement by necessity? The answer is A, a legal right benefiting an individual or entity. An easement engross benefits an individual or entity, not a specific parcel of land. It is personal and does not transfer with the land. Utility companies often hold easements engross. What is an easement by prescription? Is it A, an easement acquired through continuous use of another's land? B, a right granted by the landowner voluntarily? C, an easement by necessity? Or D, an easement appurtenant? The answer is B, a right granted by the landowner voluntarily. An easement by prescription is acquired through continuous use of another's land for a statutory period. It is similar to adverse possession, but involves only the right to use the land, not ownership. What is an easement appurtenant? Is it A, a right benefiting a particular parcel of land? B, a personal right that does not transfer with the land? C, a right benefiting a particular parcel of land by allowing access across another property? Or D, an easement by prescription? The answer is C, a right benefiting a particular parcel of land by allowing access across another property. An easement appurtenant benefits a particular parcel of land by allowing the owner access across another property. It involves a dominant estate, benefited land, and a servient estate, burdened land. What is an easement by necessity? Is it A, a right benefiting a particular parcel of land? B, a personal right that does not transfer with the land? C, an easement acquired through adverse possession? Or D, an easement created to provide access to a landlocked property? The answer is D, an easement created to provide access to a landlocked property. An easement by necessity is created by the court to provide access to a landlocked property. It ensures that the landlocked parcel has a legal right of access over another's property. What action can a property owner take to address an encroachment issue? Is it A, B, C, or D, The answer is D. To resolve an encroachment, a property owner can negotiate with the encroaching party for an easement, request the removal of the encroaching structure, seek a boundary line agreement, or pursue legal action to enforce property rights. Legal descriptions and land use classification. Meets and bounds, lot and block, rectangular survey system. Which legal description system uses principal meridians and baselines to divide land into 6-mile square townships? Is it A, meets and bounds? B, lot and block? C, rectangular survey system? Or D, public land survey system? The answer is C, rectangular survey system. The rectangular survey system, also known as the public land survey system, divides land into townships based on principal meridians and baselines. Which legal description method uses distances and angles to describe the boundaries of a parcel of land? Is it A, meets and bounds? B, lot and block? C, rectangular survey system? Or D, public land survey system? The answer is A, meets and bounds. Meets and bounds is a system that describes land by specifying the distances between corner markers and the angles between them. In a subdivision, which legal description method uses lot numbers and block numbers to identify parcels of land? Is it A, meets and bounds, B, lot and block, C, rectangular survey system, or D, public land survey system? The answer is B, lot and block. Lot and block is a system commonly used in subdivisions to describe property by specifying lot numbers within blocks. Which legal description system is commonly used in irregularly shaped parcels of land and relies on natural and artificial landmarks? Is it A, meets and bounds, B, lot and block, C, rectangular survey system, or D, public land survey system? The answer is A, meets and bounds. Meets and bounds is suitable for irregularly shaped parcels as it uses natural and artificial landmarks, distances, and angles to describe boundaries. Zoning types and land use categories: residential, commercial, industrial, agricultural. What type of land use involves the cultivation of crops and raising of livestock? Is it A, residential, B, commercial, C, agricultural, or D, industrial? The answer is C, agricultural. Agricultural land use is primarily focused on farming activities such as crop cultivation and livestock raising. Which zoning type typically permits single-family homes and parks? Is it A, residential, B, commercial, C, agricultural, or D, industrial? The answer is A, residential. Residential zoning is designed for single-family homes, parks, and other related uses to create a residential community. What type of land use involves the construction of factories and warehouses? Is it A, residential, B, commercial, C, agricultural, or D, industrial? The answer is D, industrial. Industrial land use is focused on activities like manufacturing, warehousing, and industrial production facilities.
Thanks for joining us today. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to our channel for more practice exams, tips, and tricks. And don't forget to visit birdsy.ai for complimentary study sessions with Birdsy, your AI-powered study partner.